okay, well, I don't know how this is going to turn out, so bear with me, but I am on my way to New Orleans. I got the puppies back there. I can see one. We talk so much about friendship on this channel and how it changes as we get older. And I've said it so many times in the comments. You've said it so many times in the comments that social media has made us lazy friends. I honestly don't even know what friendship means anymore to some people because they put so darn little effort into being a friend. So, texting. Well, I think this social media friendship coupled with the fact that we now text everything, even important things, and we can't be bothered to pick up the phone and call someone or answer. And I've heard from many of you who've said that, you reached out to a friend to catch up, left them a nice message, and they respond via text with very little details. Oh, good to hear from you. Thanks for the update. But basically, I guess they don't have time to pick up the phone and call you back. Okay. I get it. That's where we are today. But I don't agree that texting, and maybe it's just me, you'll have to let me know how you feel. I think that texting has replaced good manners on even the most basic things. So here's my example. This happened. I'm going to give you 2 examples. The first one happened 2 years ago. So I'm not worried about the person remembering even that it happened. A lot of the people I know are subscribers on the channel, so I'm always a little careful. But this happened 2 years ago. I get a text from a gal, or I texted her. I don't remember. And she's not a friend. She's a friendly acquaintance. Really maybe see her once a year, once every 6 months. And it's always fun to catch up because I knew her kids when they were in high school. She knew my kids when they were in high school. It's just a fun catch up. And she's a cool lady. I think her husband's pretty cool too. So she and I are back and forth texting to try to set up a date to do lunch one day. We've had lunch a couple of times, and so nothing out of the ordinary. We set up a date. It's 3-4 weeks out. So as we get closer, she sends me a text, says, hey, we're actually on the West Coast and we're flying home tomorrow. So I just wanted to give you the heads up because I've heard there are some weather problems in the airport we're flying through, and they're warning us our flight may be delayed. And if our flight's delayed, I won't be there for our lunch on, let's say, Friday. Okay, no problem. So I text her back, hey, no worries. Just, let me know that morning. If you need to let me know that morning, I have no problem. And between you and me, I really could care less if a lunch gets canceled. I mean, I could find other things to do. So sure enough, she texts me that morning and says, we're stuck in wherever and we'll probably be stuck here for the night. So I'm going to miss lunch. But hey, I'd love to get another date. Let's get another date on the calendar as soon as I get home. Now, maybe it's just me, but she canceled on me. And a totally legitimate reason and no problem. But I don't hear back from them. I don't hear anything. A week, 2 weeks, and then I get a text message. Sorry again that I had to cancel. I hope we can get together again soon. I replied, no worries, hey, no worries. Didn't mess up my day at all. But yeah, would love to see you for lunch again. Send me a couple of dates that you're available and let's see if we can get something on the calendar. Nothing. Now, I bet you 2 or 3 weeks went by again and I get another text. Hope you're doing well. Was just thinking about you. Hope we can get together soon. Okay. So all I can think is she's someone who deletes her messages after she sends them. Maybe she has some auto delete set up. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't want to go first. Maybe she doesn't mean it. I'm like, okay, you canceled. So why don't you, I don't get it. So fast forward, that was it. It's been 2 years. I haven't seen her. She never texted me again after the last time I said, sure, I'm around all month. What days work best for you? That kind of a text. I gave up. And I admit I deleted the text string at that point because I had too much stuff on my telephone and she'll either send me dates or she won't. So what, did she not mean it? And this is not a tit for tat. I just don't understand where the etiquette of cancellation sits. Because I had a similar thing happen real recently. So had a dinner set up with a gal who lives in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but a good 45-minute drive from my house. And I have a family issue that pops up out of the clear blue sky. And so I call her and she doesn't answer. So I said, hey, listen, had something pop up with my family. I'll fill you in, but I'm going to text you when I hang up the phone. I'm really worried. I don't want to hold you up if you have something else you could do tomorrow. I guess it was the next night. So I texted her and said, hey, again, I'm sorry. But I will call you next week with some dates that I'm available and maybe we can get something on the calendar. She texts me back and a really nice text. Don't worry. I hope everything's okay. You're in my prayers. The next week I call her and I say, hey, listen, I apologize again. She said, oh, well, you didn't have to call. And I said, yeah, I did because we had something set up and I held that date on her calendar for at least 3 weeks and then canceled the day before. I said, so when you hang up, I'm going to shoot you some dates so that you can look at your calendar privately and then let me know if any of those work for you. So we get it all worked out. We ended up 3 days later, we were able to have dinner. It just happened. Our schedule worked out. So we got to dinner and we're having a nice conversation. I said, hey, can I ask you something? Because I've had the same thing happen to me, and this is how people handled it. And I want to know how, am I being snobby or snotty or, I don't know, tit for tat? So I told her, the reason why I called her, I owed her that call. We made the plans. I was the one that canceled. And she said, honestly, I always call. This is her talking. She says, I always call when I'm the one who has to cancel the plans unless it's in a group text and there's several people involved. And so she goes on to say that she feels that we've lost that personal touch. Now, you may be listening to this and going, well, you should be able to text because most people communicate by text. And what I would say to that is if you're going to break bread with somebody for an hour and a half, you're going to chat it up with them, catch up. You care enough to get on their schedule and spend some time with them. You don't feel like you could have a 5-minute telephone conversation with them. You feel like you've got to do all this via text because why? I mean, I guess I get it with my own kids. They never want to talk. I have one son. I don't know when I've ever talked to him on the telephone in the last 2 years. He always replies to my text and I see him in person, but if I call, I don't think he answers. I don't think he ever answers. So that's my rant for today, but it ties into this whole conversation about friendships changing as we get older, or us changing and maybe we look at friendship differently? I don't know about you, but I honestly feel like it's a combination of us changing, people getting much more casual about basic manners and basic etiquette. I don't even know how you can tell if people like you anymore, because you go out and you have a nice lunch or a nice cup of coffee, or you do an exercise class together, and then you go out and, have a protein drink afterwards or go to the juice bar. But people send you all these signals that honestly don't mean anything. It's just the craziest thing, like, call me, but not really. Let's get together, but not really. So it's a combination of we're changing, we're not putting up with a bunch of BS anymore. I don't have the time, the energy, the drama. We talk about that all the time. And it's also this whole idea that we just don't put the same kind of effort or energy into friendship like we used to. We just don't. It just doesn't mean the same to many of us. We're so throwaway about people, about places, things, groups, organizations. But this whole idea of us becoming so darn casual, lazy, I think it's laziness. It's easier to say no. It's easier to just not do anything, which is fine. But don't commit then. Don't tell me, let's get together. I'd love to see you again soon, if you don't mean it. Don't tell me you're going to call. And when I say don't you, I'm saying me too, all of us as human beings. Don't say you're going to call if you're not going to call. Don't say you want to get together if you know you're never going to do it. Maybe you don't want to, so you're just saying it because you're full of BS. Maybe you have a bad habit of feeling like you need to fill dead air. Lots of crazy stuff, right? Lots of crazy stuff. And then that goes back to where we started with social media. I mean, I've gotten cancellations through direct message. I think that's what DM stands for. I don't even know. I got to tell a funny story. My daughter and my oldest son's girlfriend were at my house, and we were decorating jean jackets with Mardi Gras beads for Mardi Gras, which was last month. And I was playing around with my phone. I was trying to get on Pinterest because I had a board that showed Mardi Gras clothing. And I don't know what I hit by accident, but it pulled up my messages, maybe Instagram messages. And there was a message on there someone had sent me April a year ago, but because we weren't connected, because we didn't follow each other, it went into a separate folder. Lord help me. I don't begin to understand. But this person sent me a pretty important message. And then didn't follow up, didn't go to, I don't know if you can look and see if someone read it. They had to know we weren't even connected. We don't follow each other on Instagram. It was just the luck of the Irish that I saw it. I still can't believe it had been there since April of 2025. Just crazy. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, April. No, yeah, it was April of 2025. So almost a year ago. But it's just this laziness. It's this reaching out to people in the most random ways, thinking that that's enough. But for me, it's so much more when, like I said, when you're trying to get together with someone, when you're willing to sit down with them and break bread, and they matter enough to you that you've made plans, you put it on your calendar, you've made sure you didn't have any other obligations. Holy cow. And You never hear another word. I guess they're relieved that, they had to cancel. Or maybe they were full of baloney. That's the other option. Maybe they were full of baloney and the cancellation was a fake cancellation. Honestly, I have no energy for people who do that. No energy at all. As far as I'm concerned, it's inconsiderate of people's time. It's inconsiderate of people's feelings. And if that's how little you think about the commitments that you make, well, obviously that says a lot more about you than it says about the people that you're reaching out to. Well, that's my gripe for today. I would love to hear what you think. Have you run into this? Is this just the new normal? Oh my gosh. So frustrated, so aggravated. But again, am I being nitpicky? Am I just being too sensitive? I don't know. I will tell you, I don't feel this way about first time invitations. If somebody cancels on me, it's the first time we're getting together. Well, I can take a hit. But no, these situations are people that are in my life. They're either people I've hung out with before, plan to hang out with again, thought we enjoyed catching up. Oh, we're slowing down. Let me know what you think. The girls and I are at the pet stop. Bathroom stop for me, pet stop for the girls. Oh boy, there's lots of dogs out here. And then we'll get into New Orleans in a couple of hours. But take care. Talk to you soon. Love to hear your idea on lazy friends and what has happened to etiquette and manners. Take care. Bye-bye.